I'd like to share a short story with you, one that I reflect on often, and one that might answer the question, why meditate? It was the spring of 2013. While surfing the internet, I stumbled upon an ad for a 9-day silent retreat at Blue Cliff Monastery in upstate New York with Thich Nhat Hanh. I looked further into this retreat and realized that the retreat's topic was the art of suffering, something I had absolutely no interest in. But I knew that if I were to attend the retreat, that I would learn a lot. I would get to the opportunity to experience what it is to sit in meditation in a large community. And I decided I'd make my way up to Pine Bush. And over the next 9 days, for the most part in silence, I listened to this great teacher and the stories of others and how they manage suffering. Upon my return home, I made the decision that I would recommit to sitting daily, regardless of what was going on with the children or at work or home. I was going to wake up early every morning and sit with my breath for just 15 minutes a day. I did this for several months, and I noticed that I was a bit kinder, far more patient, and had an overwhelming feeling of gratitude that I carried throughout my day. I didn't know at the time how this practice would serve me long term, but in the moment, I definitely felt the benefits. So I kept that commitment for several years. I began to study in earnest as Western curiosity and meditation and practice of mindfulness grew, so did my curiosity. I sought out great teachers. I became a yoga instructor and yoga therapist. I became a certified meditation teacher through 3 Jewels in Manhattan. And I am forever grateful for my practice, because that practice is what sustains me daily. In 2018, I was unfortunately diagnosed with systemic lupus. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that attacks healthy cells and organs. I was diagnosed when I ended up in an emergency room having to have an organ removed that was no longer functioning. I didn't have much runway to that diagnosis. I had a feeling of exhaustion, but nothing worth calling a doctor about. So after I recovered from surgery, I visited a great rheumatologist who assured me that I could go on Plaquenil, the drug of choice for lupus treatment, and that I could quiet some of these symptoms that were coming up for me, including joint pain and brain fog, overall discomfort in my body. I took Plaquenil for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, I ended up back in the emergency room, this time for something rather surprising. Very few people react to Plaquenil poorly. I was one of those people. I developed a life-threatening reaction called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. I was immediately taken off Plaquenil, and after several months of recovery, I visited my rheumatologist, who informed me that the only alternative to Plaquenil for me at the time was to go on chemotherapy, and that the treatment would last 2 to 3 years with the potential of quieting about 30% of my symptoms. Those numbers weren't great. I didn't want to be on chemotherapy for 2 to 3 years. The side effects were atrocious, and a 30% chance of feeling a bit better just wasn't what I was hoping for. I returned home that day and spoke to my wife, and she asked me to stack everything in my favor: my diet, my meditation practice, my practice on the mat. We knew that there is a benefit to that. Science is very clear now. Sitting with your breath, something you have accessible, a tool all the time, 24/7, has great benefits, including expansion of gray matter in the brain, which helps relieve brain fog. It increases the quality of our sleep if we meditate before bed. A rested body and mind helps manage stress. Stress is a huge trigger for those of us living with autoimmune disease. Other benefits include everything from better relationships, better sleep, better diet. I'm in no way suggesting that you ignore Western medicine. Western medicine is important. But to complement that, I'm encouraging you to explore meditation, a practical tool that's always with you. It has endless benefits, and I've been able to maintain remission far longer than others who have similar symptoms and the same diagnoses. I also avoid many unpleasant side effects to medication. I'm happy to share my path to wellness with you in hopes that you will enhance and embrace your meditation practice so that you too could avoid suffering and feel well. Thank you.